Hey, Coach, what's up?
Val, the voice. How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's been a very, very busy week and week start to the week. And of course, we are excited. It is June, which is Black Music Month. And of course, National DJ Month. Kibber, 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 kibber,
Right
kibber.
there with the vinyl. You ain't know. You
I
better ask somebody.
I know. This is wonderful. This is wonderful. But of course, we're always excited to have new people come on. And of course, we have your nephew coming up. And also, I got a little bit of a movie review I want to do. So it's another edition of Interludes Extra Presents Talk on Tuesdays. You ready, Coach?
Now stay ready like a dollar bill.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Here we go. It's another edition of Interludes Extra Presents Talk on Tuesdays. Oh my gosh, we are so excited that you are joining us on today. And of course, I'm Val the Voice Johnson. And who you looking at over there? That is
Your
Coach
man's in
Tony.
there. See, your man's in there.
my, my man's in them. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. And um, yeah, I have got to get somebody to help me with graphics because it is going down crazy right now. Interlude Extra presents.
You know the female version of Fly Jock. You doing everything. You got your hands in the
Uh,
cookie jar. You're cooking on the skillet. You doing your hair, putting some makeup on, and got time to watch TV. Come on, Val. You remember?
yeah,
You remember back in the day in Living Color, my man. So I got 15 jobs and still got time to make you.
exactly, and I'm really excited about what is going to be happening a little bit later today, and of course, we were excited to have your cousin come on. I'm not cousin, your nephew come on, and we'll talk about that in just a few moments. But this past weekend, I'm just excited to get some things going. But let me go ahead and do this and get this up get this thing going and rolling. I got my new MacBook, but everything is a little turned around, which is always fun. We'll see who is in the building and say
Yes.
hello. You guys go ahead and say hello in the chat. I think we have one of our former
Sad boy
uh
jokes. I got sad boy jokes. He got the two eyes on his sad boy jokes out here. What's up, baby? Thanks for checking in. Star Hollis. Man, meat and potatoes, baby. Appreciate you sitting in on the show tonight with Val and myself. Gonna be interested. Make sure we talking. When we get to this music, we're gonna go deep tonight. We're gonna exclusively talk about Chicago scene, about the entertainment side of Chicago music. We break down different variations. Last week, if you got an opportunity to watch Val and myself, we talked about the opportunity that Prince, what he did, bringing everything to all that. And so it was really great. So this week, we're coming into the Chicago scene. So we're excited about
Look who's in the chat, Coach. It is JB Som, who was here a couple of weeks ago. Greetings from Bermuda. I'm always excited to see that. Oh my gosh.
it.
And of course,
I'm
from
ready to get down to Bermuda. I keep saying that.
and of course, we got April coming in saying hello, giving us much love from Cali. And of course, we got
What's up,
Sad Boy
fam?
Jokes. Yo, I can
What's up, Joe?
appreciate that.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that. Of course, our our one of our affiliate sponsors is Key Spot. Share, connect, and grow. We'll see something from them a little bit later. Then, of course, a DJ saved my life. It is the memoir as well as
I'm
the
on.
ABCs to starting your podcast. It is a DJ saved my life, and I just got off the phone with Monique Lisa, who is my writing mentor as well as helping me publish it. It's supposed to be hitting it really, really soon. So I'm really excited for everyone who has gone ahead and purchased it. I'll go ahead and place it in the room chat for you guys. Oh my goodness. And of course, join us on Patreon. Interludes Extra presents Find Your Voice. You can do behind the scenes and see some stuff that we have going there. It is patreon.com/interludes extra. I'm sorry, interludes/interludes. It's Coach Tony in the building. And of course, myself, our buddy, can you believe it? Our buddy here, Mr. Springer, is off tonight because he is celebrating not 1, not 2, but 3 years of wedded bliss. Woohoo!
Hey, look at Springer right there too, man. Look, he looking all clean. He's still wet behind his ears. Similac on his breath. You know what I'm saying?
I know. It is amazing. It is amazing. So yes. So, and of course, this was one of the first things that I attended just after the pandemic. So that's me getting my little smile on with them. So yeah.
You're always gonna photobomb somebody. You're gonna make sure you photobomb something.
So happy 3rd anniversary to Mr. and Mrs. Springer. There we go. So out of Brooklyn. So we're just really excited that they got a chance to, like I said, we gave him the night off. We gave him the night off so he can enjoy himself. And like I said, that was a photo bomb, big time.
Big time. Hey, Karen, we got much love. JB Song. What's going on with the fire? Hey, Kev already know he ain't with us. He's still with us.
And here's this. JB wants to know, we have our house collab to work on. You serious or what?
Hey, JB, I told you. Hey, and tonight, I'm glad you're on the show because having my nephew on tonight and doing some things, I'm telling you right now, you better get at me because we working on that. That house track is coming. And I may just call that house track. My man's in there. Who knows?
Who knew? Well, over the weekend, myself and a good friend of mine, we got a chance to check out Bad Boys. This is my girl. This is my homie, home skillet, all that. I've been knowing her. Right. I don't even want to mention how many
everything in there.
This scrambled eggs, this princess. And of course, we got a chance to see Bad Boys Ride or Die. I have to say, Coach, it was enjoyable because anyone that's a fan of the series, I got it. Princess, this was her first time seeing Bad Boys. She hadn't seen any movies in the franchise, and she got it. I know.
What you mean? What's she been saying? Was she overseas with one of them TVs that got a bunny rabbit on?
I know. So yeah, so that was us kind of acting silly just after the movie and stuff. And so I'll do a more in-depth review of the film, but like I said, I had a good time. I mainly went number one because I was curious. Of course, we got to talk about that. And of course, Mike Drew is in the building. He says, "What up, folks?" And thank you so much.
What's up, folks? What's good with you, baby? Sending love on the West Coast, and I know it's about 102 out in Phoenix right now.
Yeah, so like I said, I got a chance to see it, and like I said, it was a jam-packed action. They did well, 56 million over the weekend. They said it was the first largest opening since the sequel to Dune, which was back in March. So it's done well. They did a
I told you that though, Val. Mm-hmm. I said that though. I was experimenting and I gave it a week. So from last weekend to hopefully this Saturday coming up, I think I said like 126 million, and I'm at half of that right now, about 56 to 60 million. So we can do another 60 million by next weekend. I'm right on track. I just thought that with the pandemic, with the SGA that happened, and everything that was around it, there was nothing to compete with it. So it wasn't like you were going to go to the movie theaters and look at something else and you bring in a funny comedy action show to the movie theaters and people were ready to get out. And with everything that's going on with the election and this people getting arrested and all that, people needed something to laugh about.
Yeah. And like I said, this to kind of be in a jam-packed theater, myself and Princess, we went to the Dolby 4. The sound was no Dolby 7. It was just the
Don't be
sound was
seven.
just enriching. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They charged us for us too, but I really
Yeah, I'm about
enjoyed
to say,
the
you
action.
paid for about 3 more speakers, huh?
I sure did. I sure did. But like I said, I had a good time. But like I said, I'll be doing a more in-depth review for number one. I am excited. You guys have really been enjoying the articles that we've been writing for our interludes newsletter on LinkedIn, and so I definitely will be chiming in and doing that. But I had a good time, and like I said, I get it. It was the nostalgia. I don't know if people have 110% forgiven Will for what's happened, but here's the thing. This is on the road to recovery, because then after this, Mr. Springer told us that Bel Air is going to be releasing its third season on Peacock. And this is all, he's got the best PR repair department I have ever seen in my life. It is repairing his image right as we speak. Oh my
Trust
gosh.
me, he's paying some good folks to do that, because I'm telling we are
Mhm.
that forgiving nation anyway, though, Val. We forgive and forget. We do it.
I
If, somebody's in court with 34 felonies, they already forgave him. So come on.
Oh my gosh. And of course, 2 games were played in the NBA finals. And of course, Boston is up 2-0. They now travel over to Dallas on tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. And so we're excited to see how that's going to roll out for our folks. I'm just saying it's an exciting time for Boston and that team with a wonderful coach who was given the team after some things happened. But like I said, I was really, really excited to see what was going on with our situation regarding Boston. I mean, like I'm telling you. So a lot of people are rooting for Dallas. I totally get that. And of course, I did an article a little bit earlier on the morning show that I host. We had a one of our news correspondents talk about how a Megan Thee Stallion show was canceled because of the Dallas Mavericks being able to play in the finals. And so some Megan Thee Stallion fans are a little angry. Rightfully so, because I guess Dallas didn't know that they were going to be in the finals. And of course, the arena that Dallas uses, that was where Megan Thee Stallion was going to have one of her stops on her tour on, I guess they were calling it Hot Girl Summer. And so I was thinking, this is hilarious. What's going to happen exactly with our situation? It is, oh my gosh, it is hilarious. But like I said, the NBA Finals is going to be making its way over to Dallas. And of course, I tell you some of the top scorers. I'm wondering where Coach is, but like I said, I got a chance to see the game on Sunday night, and it was a nail biter. As here's the thing, I did not have a pony in the race. I don't have a pony in the race because my beloved Chicago Bulls didn't make it, but it's okay. But as it is, like I said, we're going to be checking it out. And so the finals continues with game 3 on tomorrow. And like I said, they'll be over in Dallas, and we'll see. Yeah, we'll see if Boston dominates in Dallas, because I guess it was very important for Boston to win on its home court for the last 2 games. So it's always exciting. Oh my gosh. Man, oh man, we have a wonderful guest in the building. And as I wait for Coach to come on back and let us know what's going on. But like I said, we are celebrating, I'd like to call it Black Music Month. And of course, what is it called? Oh, National DJ Month, and of course, the book. Thank you so much. I see your comment in the chat, in the room chat. Queen April, I am very excited for the book to be coming out. And of course, JB Psalm, thank you so much for putting that out there as well. That's Janita. I want to make sure that I say that. But for this entire month of June, we are going to be taking care of and talking about some things that are affecting Black music. And of course, we're excited about that. Last week, we got a chance to talk about Prince and a few other folks, Tupac, because it was their birthdays. We were in their birthday week. So happy heavenly birthday to those guys. But of course, we're excited to bring on a young man who is working in the field of hip hop and DJing. I got a chance to look at some of the things that he's placed on his SoundCloud, as well as just mixing and being a performer in this field. It's tough. I was a DJ when it was records. But of course, if you're a DJ now, everything is on your laptop. You can pretty much do your thing and create beats as well. And I have created some beats in GarageBand, so I've had some fun with that. But my goodness, we're excited. We're going to be bringing on Tony's nephew. That's what he told me. And he hails from Chicago. Oh my gosh, we're excited to bring him on and have a little conversation with him about the Chicago house scene and also electronic music, where that is going, which is always exciting. So ladies and gentlemen, we're bringing on to the Interludes extra stage, it's Sonny Hew. Welcome. How are you? I got to get the mouse over here. Here we go. Hey, Sonny, how are you?
I'm doing well, Miss Val. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I don't know where your uncle went. I think he's trying to recharge his phone or something, but it's all good. I'm going to check that out. I love this shot of you with, give me a quick, an education. What do you have? I have a monocaster. What is that?
So this is a Machine Mark II. It's one of the like earlier models that the Native Instruments brand made. It's like a sampler and drum machine. Also has like MIDI capabilities.
Wow. I that's one of my favorite shots of you, and I use that for our advertisements of you. But oh my gosh, you're born and raised in Chicago, and like I said, you are someone who likes a fusion of hip hop, neo soul, house, electronica, and jazz. That's a lot to put in the soup.
It is.
That's a lot to put in the soup. Oh my Lord. You got to tell me, when did you start getting an interest in either DJing or doing things with music? How young were you when you started that interest? Who got you started on that?
Oh man, really both of my parents, but my dad really had a huge impact on me when it came to music. Like, as long as I could remember, like he's always had like a pretty large collection of just like music, and I mean literally anything. But I can recall, him having a very big like jazz collection. So jazz was like one of the first things I fell in love with, and he's also an audio home audio enthusiast as well. So I was exposed to just a lot of the different like home audio gear devices, coming up, and I just had a interest for it. But then he would also buy like a lot of concerts like on video, and
Wow.
I would emulate like some of the drummers, because the drums were it was my first instrument. So I would try to emulate them, and I went through like 3 or 4 pairs of drum sets over the years.
So you were drumming in the house and nobody like lost their mind?
A couple times, definitely. And we actually just got rid of my last drum set because we got the basement remodeled, and it was sad to see it get taken. But I mean, my dad really wanted to remodel the basement. I gotta respect his needs.
Yeah, and now that you mentioned it, I noticed that, and I listened to a couple of your mixes, and Coach, he kind of educated me a little bit. Drums and percussion are central to some of the tracks that you've done. Could you tell us a little bit about that creative process and when it comes to creating the rhymes and how they shape the music that comes out of you originally, besides DJing, but coming up with your own tracks? How does that work?
We'll see. A lot of the time, whenever I make something, I normally like to start with a melody, whether it's me finding a sample that I like and, you know, seeing like how I can, manipulate it or flip it, or even just me making a composition from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's normally my typical approach. And I try to create like a groove around it. And sometimes, and a lot of people don't notice this, but there are times where like the sample might be in a different I guess you could say like a different like swing or time signature from what I played on like the drums, because a lot of time like I make my own rhythms from scratch.
Okay.
So and
Yeah.
that's like everything from picking out my own drums. Like I'll find like different breaks and just find like different sounds that I like, and then I'll add like a percussion bed on it,
Mhm.
and just like different ear candy, just to keep the listener, interested. Whatnot.
I like how you say ear candy. Like some of the music that I remember listening to when I was around your age or a little bit younger, it was anything that got me hyped to get on the dance floor. And I'm like, okay. When I DJ'd when I was in college, it was all about making sure that whatever music that I played, it was to keep people on the floor.
Hmm.
And I had to kind of like tune into, if I want to do hip hop and house, I got to make sure that the track almost blends, even if I have to take out the vocals. Are you able to do that when you DJ and mix? Like if there's a track that's really beloved, if you could give an example that you might take out the vocals and you just want to do the beat and you'll grab either a rap or vocals from somewhere else. How do you mix when you blend? Do you do any of those things?
Oh yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
when I DJ,
Mm-hmm.
um, most DJ softwares out there, like they have the compatibility to allow the DJ to do like stem separation.
Ah.
And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I'll make like my mixes prior to let's say like a set or a performance, and um, depending on what song it is, because sometimes when you do like stem separation, uh, it kind of how can I put it, the sound quality gets I don't know. I guess it gets a little like messed up because it's like you're taking away a particular dynamic within the song. So, um, I like to go for like more like um, minimal production, like songs. So that way I'm able to like take those tracks and then I can easily just like strip them away from the song. But then, you know, I still have like a decent amount of dynamics within it. And then, um, yeah, like I'll just place that on a beat that I already made and yeah, just time stretch it. And I pretty much do the same thing too whenever I make like just like regular remixes um, in the
Yeah.
software as well.
Yeah, and I'd love to know who are some of your favorite artists, but I see your uncle has come back, and of course I have it. Someone a sad boy joke said, "Shout out to Sonny
Oh yeah,
Hew, the goat, in
that's my brother.
making." That's your brother?
That's my
Oh,
brother,
that's
Dustin.
wonderful. That's
Shout
what
out
I'm talking
to
about.
Dustin Sad Boy Jokes.
And coach, I was just asking him just a little bit about his background. He says his father is what kind of the person that kind of educated him on music. And he went through several drum sets. So he was allowed to play drums in the house. That's exciting.
Hey,
And how are
you
you two
know,
related, Uncle?
things is- well, this is like my play nephew. This is Mike Drew's nephew. So he's like fam. It's like fam here. You know what I'm saying? So, and sorry about that. Some technical difficulties. Been out all day with my phone, trying to get it overheated on me. So hopefully we're good to go. But, Sonny Hew, as they call him, is close to the heart, close to the fam, close to the beach, Southside Chicago. So it's good to get an opportunity to put everything into perspective. His brother doing jokes, Val, we're going to get him on the show one night. He just moved to New York City to do his thing and really come up. So they doing some big major things here, and I had to get Sonny on tonight because we spent we was on the phone the other night to like midnight talking just old history of house music in Chicago, just giving him some nuggets, some things he didn't realize. And that was just great to see from a young perspective where the Chicago club scene is at right now.
Yeah, and so the one thing that because I think about myself as a DJ and what I did back in the day, I know what influenced me, not necessarily what was popular on the radio, but what I had to serve my crowd, find out what moved the crowd for me and for them to stay on the dance floor. So when you DJ, who are the go-tos for you, the music that I can grab it and whomever your client is or whoever you're serving in that moment of putting on the music? For myself, it was Black Sheep, it was Tribe Called Quest, it was Club Nouveau, it was In Vogue, because I'm a little bit older than you, not that much, a little bit older. But who are those artists that's a go-to for you when you need to get people on the dance floor and serve your client well? Oh, I think Sonny froze a little bit. Oh, there you are. Did you hear us? There you go.
I did. Man, nowadays, I tend to go to a lot of SoundCloud artists because a lot of the artists on like SoundCloud, like they make their own remixes from scratch, and sometimes I'll throw in like some of the most, or I guess like alternative like tracks, because most of the scenes that I'm in or like spinning off of, like it's a lot of like alternative like R&B and like hip hop tracks, but then a lot of the artists on like SoundCloud, like there's a whole like underground scene that I tend to go back to. Like a lot of them have like different remixes, and they do like all this stuff from like scratch, because like a lot of DJs like tend to take like other songs and they'll just mesh them with like other tracks, but they'll take like different stems from like each of the songs. But it's like these DJs on SoundCloud, it's like they're just on another like level of just like creativity, and that's actually where I got a lot of my influence from growing up. But then also a big influence for me was Flying Lotus. He's Flying Lotus has been a big inspiration for me for years. So
Lotus is like kind of like we were talking the other night, Val. Kind of like us. When I got heavy into the scenes, I had him laughing because it was mental for me. If you're a Chicago guy, you're an old house guy, and I'm an old house head. I'm a house head. I'll do the other things, but as Farley jumped on the tracks back in the day at Mendel, and we're talking about this is the most clever international DJ worldwide, because Farley knew how to come give it to the high school cats at Mendel after the 9:30 basketball game, after we just drug somebody, and then be in position to bring in those kids between 16, 17, and 19 years old, and then break out and go down to the candy store on Michigan Avenue, and flip it to one, and then go see Andre Hatchett, go see Frankie Knuckles, go see Ron Hardy. So I'm gonna school you on the old school stuff. So back in the day, if it was a go-to, if it was hip hop, then I could jump on Digital Underground Freaks of the Industry. I throw is the Freaks of the Industry on it. Doom, 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 that loop. Anybody gets on that. But if you had to jump in a backyard party anything Teddy Pendergrass, anything, Isley Brothers that was back in the day, old school guys that keep it hopping, George Clinton. But as Sonny said, once you got into the new school of music, then keeping things relevant, I think it was the fusion between hip hop and house. And I think that's what, to me, the Fugees with Lauryn Hill, I think they do a great job of that with Wyclef. He's got that beat that can put you up here at 120 beats, make you work, and then bring you back down to about 90, 92, 93, and still got you snapping your fingers, And when I heard your house track, and I know me and Val talked about that, want to get a sample of that, but because of some copyright things, we couldn't put it on. Talk to us a little bit about, as you mentioned a moment ago, when you got in your left ear hip hop and in your right ear a house, and you try to infuse them together. What's the process are you doing, or are you taking when you're coming up with that track and then trying to infuse to make sure that the younger generation is going to bounce to it? But if you still got somebody like myself and Val in the club, we still bobbing our heads too.
So, well, I've been a lover of hip hop since I was like since I was a youngin', and I didn't get into house really until maybe, let's say high school.
Okay.
Around high school, because my parents, they listened to pretty much everything just about, but house wasn't something that was praised by them. I don't know why, but I mean, no judgment, but I loved house, once I got to high school, and plus my friends were putting me on to some of the old DJs from back in the day, like Ron Hardy, Frankie, Mr. Fingers, so I got
Mike Dunn. Don't forget Mike Dunn, still active.
Mike Dunn, yeah. So I got into a lot of that in high school, but as of lately, I've really been influenced from just some of the inner scenes within Chicago. And really, summertime Chicago, a lot of people talk about how it's kind of dead, but I don't know, the past couple of years, being a young adult and seeing it, firsthand, it's really been a really beautiful experience. The EP that you guys listened to, Fatima's Groove, that was actually influenced from my summer 2022.
Right after the pandemic.
Right, exactly. And around that time, I was going to a lot of picnics and parties throughout the city. And one of the things that I noticed was this was around the time dance music was making a resurgence, within the younger generations. And also that was also the summer that Summer Renaissance by Beyonce came out. So it's you have that, but then you also have a lot of DJs throughout the city who are doing their own remixes and also bringing a lot of dance genres back, because there was a period where folks within my generation, especially young Black folks, we weren't really dancing like that. It was kickbacks and folks just standing around and whatnot. And and I was kind of tired of seeing that, because I like to dance when I go to parties, depending on what kind of music they're playing. So seeing all of that, it definitely influenced the way I make music, because I also bring up another thing as well, a lot of or in most cases, folks are going to go where the ladies go. And
exactly. Well, if you, in that case, you better be glad you went back in the day with Val, because Val stayed at Mental, and she'll tell you, if you weren't able to go dance with the speaker by yourself, then you weren't at a party club in that Mental, Cause you could come in there and get a workout. I seen dudes come in dry, go out wet. I mean, and Val is hilarious because Sonny and I was kicking some conversation. He mentioned a moment ago just to infuse a few things that, with his track he came up. We talked about, the candy store down on Michigan Avenue, the warehouse with Frankie Knuckles, the underground with Ron Hardy. These, and then of course out on 87th Street, you got to go to the rink. If you was able to get out to the rink or you go to Slick Rick's, and then of course the old 50-yard line. Everyone had a chance to do the 50. But what amazed me when he was talking about Val, he just mentioned a moment ago about the kids are now getting into their house scene, because my son even said the same thing, like, man, Dad, I'm going to the clubs. Of course, the younger generations are calling it EDM, because it's a fusion of house and whatever. But when you are putting them beats together, do you see yourself now, Sonny, in a situation where you're part of bringing this new scene back to Chicago in terms of this infused music, or that's something that you're trying to still work on and get?
So this is my motto, and this has been my motto for a few years now. I'm like, if what I made doesn't make you move in any sort of way, I failed.
Okay.
I failed. And so literally, like, when I make tracks nowadays, like, my intention is to, have my listeners, moving, in some sort of way, whether it be them just bobbing their head or, they full on dancing. And, like, it's really exciting. It's really an exciting time for DJs and producers, because I feel like now people are starting to become more comfortable with dancing, at least in my generation.
Right.
Like, it's really exciting. So to, go out to, some of these parties and, spots within the city and actually see, like, folks within my generation, having a good time and, just minding their own business. Like, it's really cool. And then I get to go back home and, think about, like, what I just witnessed, and, I'm able to actually, make stuff of my own and, actually, go out later on, later in the week or whenever, and, showcase, like, some of my work. So,
be a part of it.
Like, one of the things that I'm happy that I found when I got into my adult years was, like, finding the beat scenes throughout Chicago.
Okay.
Because like, they've been around for at least, like, well, I don't know how long exactly, but I remember seeing them in high school, like, on Instagram and Twitter. And I remember I wanted to be a part of them, like, so bad, but, like, I didn't know how to really, I didn't know how to get into the scenes of the community. So it wasn't until I went to college downstate and the pandemic hit, and I came back, and maybe like a year after the pandemic started, like, they started having showcases again. And I just hit up, like, one of the hosts, the curators, and just asked them, like, it'd be cool if I could come through and spin, and like, yeah, absolutely. So that's how I got immersed into, like, the various scenes in Chicago, and, like, it's been nothing but a dope experience. Like, I loved every moment of it.
Tell us
about that, Val.
Well, it's educational. That's what I like to think of it. It's educational. And here's the thing, is that we have to collab in order to grow as an artist and to get our work out here. Tell me something about this. I found this on your IG. This is the first Sonny D production. You collaborated with a few folks with that. How was that experience, and what was the response for when you would play music from this particular project, when you would go out and do your DJ thing?
So let's see. This is this is Raise 7. This is the debut tape under the Sunny Day duo. The other half is my brother Day What It Do. He's another producer in Chicago, and also just an artist. Like, he's super talented dude. And yeah, this was our debut mixtape, and we were making like beats during the pandemic because I mean we couldn't go outside. You know, it
Right.
wasn't really much to do, and you know, I'm not gonna lie, like it was kind of chill, but it was also, you know, kind of depressing and scary. And
Wow.
you hear a lot of that like on this this tape. Like it's kind of
Uh-huh.
eerie, but you know, it has a bit of a warmness and you know subtleness to it. So
Right.
and
Yeah.
this was also the tape too that introduced um Sonny Hew into like the beat scene in Chicago.
Okay.
Um, this was like one of the first things that I showcased. So yeah, this is a really special project.
That's
I
funny
had
that
a
you mentioned
had a
that.
feeling. Yeah. I had a feeling it was special. Of all of the collaborations that you've done, what's been one of your favorites?
Yeah.
Man, favorite project? I think it has to be.
Working on my man's in there.
It has.
Here he go with that, my man. It's a running
That's just
joke,
gonna be,
Sonny. It's a running
it's gonna be
joke.
the first one. We gonna get it done. We gonna get it done. But yeah,
Nah,
I want to know
anticipate me.
what's been that favorite. What's been that favorite project that you kind of said, man, you know, I put my foot in it because I'm telling you the Alheiser and the tracks you just dropped me and Val, I love them. You know, you know, I can almost get into your mindset of where you was coming from some of those.
Man, I want to say Fatima's Groove
Yeah.
because again, summer 2022, like it was rough, but it was so much fun. Like I remember getting out of a breakup that summer, and a breakup of actually like of a 7-year relationship,
Oh wow.
and
Val can tell you
but
about that.
it was tough, and I remember going to parties like that same summer, and that was also the summer I went to the chosen few house picnic
I
for
was
the
gonna
first
tell
time.
Val about the chosen few. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
like
okay.
it was my first time going to that, and I remember just I don't know, like I forgot about like all that I was going through that summer, and again, like I just found myself like just immersed in the various like scenes throughout Chicago, and like going to that picnic, like it was special because it was like there was a mix of my generation of folks, but then also like the older, generations, like, folks within you guys' generation. And,
Right.
For some time, like, it's been a big barrier, between like our generations. But it was like the one time where I saw that we can actually come together and, actually enjoy
Oh,
ourselves and
yeah.
have fun. And also that summer too was also when scenes or genres like Amapiano and Afrobeat got really big,
Applebee's
and
took off big time.
Yeah, big
yeah,
time.
and
Yeah.
I've been listening to that stuff like since early high school because I was also into like dance hall, and
Okay.
so seeing all that stuff, within the melting pot, in addition to like the various um like house scenes, like it was crazy. So that's literally how this project, ended up coming out, because it was literally just, that summer. And I also want to give a big shout out to women, Black women, especially because they, because literally the women are the life of the party. Like I'm always going to believe that, like, women are the life of the party. And so like I'll even say too, like this project, has a bit of feminine energy, within it too, because I was influenced by like some of my some of my friends, who frequent into like some of these parties, like, so yeah, I think this is probably my favorite.
That's dope. And Val had a snippet of it right there. You want to try to drop?
Oh, should I be trying to play this? I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna see if I can go ahead and share it again. If we get hit, then we'll just we'll take the hit, but hopefully it won't be that way because the artist is right here. I'm just saying. Can you guys hear that?
Good idea, but they tell you from the sector. Everyone around them wants when you inspect. But you know, let them spend and agree with them.
Who's doing the vocals with that?
So this is 2 songs that I took. Oh gosh, I'm so bad with like names sometimes with like samples. But the first track is a Brazilian R&B track. And the second track is Sean Paul. I believe it was not Give Me the Light, but Temperature.
Temperature. Oh yeah, I got the right temperature for shelter you from the storm.
No. It's not
that one. Oh, it's a different one.
I'm telling you, I'm so bad when it comes to names sometimes. Like, but it's a Sean Paul song.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
like,
I've go ahead.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say in the chat, guys, if you want to hear that in its entirety, I have placed the SoundCloud link to your SoundCloud, and you can follow Sonny Hew there. And as I'm assuming, as some of the muse comes to you, you end up uploading it to your SoundCloud, right? Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Right. Now, what were you going to say before I interrupt you? I'm sorry.
I was going to say like that. I think that was one of the first tracks that I made for the project.
Okay.
And yeah, like I was listening to a lot of like Afrobeat and dancehall that summer. So that's how that came out. And I had even got into like this other genre. It's called like I don't want to butcher it, but I think it's pronounced Koweïto, and it's actually the genre that influenced Amapiano.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you're familiar with that genre, but
no, unfortunately, I'm not. And that sounds like that's is that in the Caribbean or overseas in Brazil or other places?
So it's a South African house genre.
There we go.
Yeah, and it's pretty much the newer form of Koweïto. And I was hooked on like that, that summer, because that was also another genre that I found, like maybe late high school or early college, and I was just really influenced by like a lot of the work of like some of the DJs like overseas in South Africa, and also big shout out to my folks in South Africa too, because there was some like the folks in South Africa, like that was literally like one of the first communities to show me love, like when I released my first projects like years ago. So big shout out to them.
Yeah, because I know that when we are supporting each other and our sound a part of the African diaspora, it is wide and large, and something that might not catch in the States might catch overseas in Brazil, Rio, over in Barcelona, in South Africa, Zimbabwe. It could go in any direction, and Afrobeats has really been that genre that I've been hearing more of and getting attracted to it. And of course, here in America, we'll make it popular. We'll popularize it with certain songs. But you mentioned that you like to work with independent artists. You kind of alluded to some of the artists that you listen to or that you like. But if it was that one or two artists that you've worked with or that you really like and they're in the underground scene, it'd be great if you give them a shout out. Let us
Oh,
know
yeah.
who are some of the folks that you hear and their music is on SoundCloud or some other independent place. Who are one or two of those artists that you really were like, yeah, I vibe with it, I work with them, I you know, I would get with that sound. Who are some of the people that independent folks that you know about?
So like I said, my brother Day What It Do. Big shout out to him. And shout out to my sister Kayla Desiree.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And do they have IGs? I'm assuming a lot of folks have IGs. So yeah.
So Day actually just deleted his Instagram recently.
Oh no.
I don't
Somebody must have
know,
been stalking him.
but you can find his work on Bandcamp
SoundCloud,
and
Bandcamp.
SoundCloud, and Spotify. And
Oh, wow.
Kayla Desiree is on all platforms as well.
Oh my
And
God.
we're actually working on a album this summer. I don't want to say the name on here though, but you know.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. That's fine. That's fine. Because you got to protect your folks. You got to protect your folks. It's no big deal. Because there's a lot of independent artists that come out that I'm not aware of, and I have to, in my mind, I have to get educated. There's a very talented DJ based here in Chicago named Dwayne Powell. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but he had You've heard of him? Yes. So
Yeah.
all the greats know him. He had a podcast called Sound Rotations. I learned about so many underground artists. One of my favorites was Jose James. And I found out about a few other artists, neo soul artists. But who is that DJ or person that you go to when you are looking for that sound, either to mix with or to inspire you to create beats?
Oh man, I would have to say Monty Booker.
Okay.
Monty Booker's he's a pretty well known Chicago producer. He got big like around like maybe 2014, 2015, and he's a part of this this collective label called Selection, and they've made a huge impact within the dance scene. Or just the music scene, like in general. Like a lot of producers and DJs have came from that label, and he was one of the individuals that I really gravitated towards because I love the way he utilized just like percussion and like ear candy like sounds, because he would literally he was very similar to like Timbaland, because Timbaland would take like different objects and make like sounds out of them, and Monty would go as far as like turning on the faucet in the kitchen and we'll make a sound out of that. And I was just like, how is this man's like, how is his brain working like this? And so I was hearing stuff like that. I'm like, whoa, this is like so beautiful. And like since I discovered him, like one of my main focuses has been like just texture. Like I like to have like a certain texture to like a lot of my beats. And you know, some of my friends, like they'll hear my stuff, they're like, what is that like in the background? And it could be something as simple as like, I don't know, like a chord being dragged upon the floor or something like. So, and
that's a cute.
Yeah, you know, like it's stuff like that, you know, that had me like gravitate towards him. So
let me ask you, if you know, going back in the Chicago scene, Val and I, you know, we go back in that real scene. You know, you mentioned a moment ago, you know, I remember the person that turned me on, that really wanted me, I really wanted to DJ, was when the first time I seen Farley Keith at Mendel. The first time. The first time I seen him make some Technique 1200s dance. First time I seen him have, like you said, girls at the party like Val dancing with the speaker. Didn't want to dance with you, but they would dance with that speaker all night long, come out ringing wet. And then to see that same crowd follow him down 23rd Street and go to Michigan Avenue to the candy store like Pied Piper, like and he had a flute. If when you looking at the old genre of DJs in Chicago, and you had to reach back and look at one of those, like a Mike Dunn, Steve Silk Hurley, Ferris Thomas, some of those guys, who would you say that was a old DJ, or if we say a back in the day type of DJ that really gave you some influences that you say, I want to go look and study some of his works and see the type of work he did, and you try to put that into the stuff that you're trying to do?
Larry Heard.
Okay.
Larry Heard, man.
That's a boomerang. Now, I love Larry. Why Larry Heard?
Yeah.
So let me see. So one of the first house genres I really got into was deep house. I love how just like simplified and just like ambient it was like, and Larry Heard really laid down the groundwork for that sound. And because like around it, correct me if I'm wrong, but like around the time of like the early like house days, like it was very similar to like the disco sound. I feel like a lot of those earlier tracks, but it was like he didn't use like samples. He made like very simple like compositions and taking like simple chords and creating like these like unique grooves like under them. And I just love like his approach to like some of those early tracks like Can You Feel It? It's Not Over.
Yeah.
And like and also too like I just love the way he like programmed like his synth bass like patches, because like some of that stuff like I tried to make on my own and I'm like, dang, this is literally impossible, because it was like because it's like he would literally like make these like patterns, these like unique patterns like on whatever synth he was using, and then he would add like so much like saturation and color to them to where they would literally just sit on top of the drums and they would just like,
oh yeah, I mean,
like he was so in the pocket,
Oh yeah, and Val would get this. So the one of the tracks that I like from Larry Heard was the "Oh It's Not Over," and he would take three scripts. It's not over. All sucks. All sucks. Ooh baby. Ooh baby. Ooh. He would run that over. It was so deep that when Farley did his tracks, oh sucks. When Farley grabbed that and made that old hip hop, house track. You're talking about the infusion of DJs battling back in the day on house, Sonny. I'm telling you, like the DJs in New York was battling on hip hop when it came out. I'm talking about to go to a Mendel to hear Chip E, right? If people don't know, like this. If you only knew, right? Jamming Ralph Rosario. Right, Ralph Rosario, you used to hold me. You used to, so you got him. Then you coming in with a Farley Keith. Then you coming in from the western suburbs. You bringing in a Mike Hitman Wilson. Then you got Steve Silk Hurley there with the young Ferris Thomas. And then we still got the chosen few. And if, by the way, everyone that's listening to my voice, by far, I love New York, definitely second home to me. But Chicago's house music scene is off the charts. And if you never had an opportunity to experience the Chicago house scene, get to Chicago. And I'm going to let Sonny tell you the dates this year because it changes quite a bit. But the chosen few, which is the old Chicago Hot Mix 5, and now they've added several people in Jackson Park. If you don't get there by 8 o'clock and park the car and take an Uber, you don't get in. I'm dead serious.
Nah, seriously.
The music scene that day for a 12-hour party, sometimes 15 hours, is none other, as they said, the only closest party, house music related, is the one they call with Glitterbox London. And Mike Dunn goes over there quite a bit. And the music that Val and I got an opportunity to hear at a Mendel to go. I mean, now for those that don't know, I got guys. I had Sonny laughing the other night. We was talking. I know people that would go to a party to Chicago on a Thursday night at 9 o'clock. Club closes at 1. The next club open up at 1 a.m. Val laughing, and then close at 6. And then the warehouse opens up at 6 and go to noon. I knew people that would go at 10 o'clock at night and come to school the next
I'm
day.
sorry.
Come straight to school.
That was my life after college from 94, 90. Yeah, we were outside. And the the funny thing, and this is what I'm happy with. We played a little bit of the track. I don't know if you were here, Coach. We played a little bit of the track. So one of our friends out of Brooklyn, Janelle, said, I was dancing over here. That beat, the beat is fire. And of course, Star said, yes, project, can't wait. And then, of course, I responded, I'm liking the beat as well. And then, of course, you were getting a little encouragement, Coach, to sing it from Janelle. But like I said, the music, and when I lived in New York, and I'd been there for almost 2 decades, their attempt, or I always joke around, if they wanted to play homage to house music, I would hear, follow me, yeah. Because it was all about, to me, that positive message. Yeah. So that was just kind of the thing. But if because we're celebrating national we're celebrating Black Music Month, but there are so many artists from different races and different cultures from all over the world, as I said, that come together in the African diaspora that just celebrates the music. If you were to give advice to anyone that wanted to get into beat making or become a professional DJ, what kind of advice would you give them, Sonny?
Great question.
Well, I tell them first, like, don't overthink the process, and find anything you can to make music, because I mean, there's a lot of pieces of software, just like programs that are affordable or are free for you to use. So I would just tell them, get your hands on, anything that you can use to, create a nice track. And again, most important, don't overthink the process. Just let it flow.
Oh, that's no. And you got some people that want to listen to some more of your tracks and really get into what you're doing in your projects. How can they reach out to you?
You can find me on Instagram at Sonny Hew, so SONNYHEW, and you can also find me on Bandcamp or SoundCloud, Sonny Hew as well as Spotify.
Oh, that's dope. And Val, me and Sonny definitely gonna debut my man's and them the house track on the show. We're gonna work on that, and people laughing, but when we drop that my man's and them, and you see what's going on, you're gonna be like, "Oh my God, Coach! You said it was coming. It's coming." And the Chicago. We're gonna take you back to. I'm gonna take you back to that 111th Street in Roseland, baby. I'm going back to Mendel with it.
Well, I don't know if you saw it, Sonny, but one of our guests, that our former guest and friend to the show, JP Psalm, that's Janita. She's like, Coach, we have a house collab to work on. Are you serious or what? So
I'm dead serious. And I got my nephew right here. Is that music, producer? So you need to get at me so we can put it in his hands and let him create his magic. And so it's a trifecta. You get it? Me, you, and him. It's a trifecta.
And Sad Boy Jokes is saying, yep, he's down with it.
I already know.
And of course, I'm just saying, and then of course, a Star Hollis says, period, that and period to that. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for joining us on tonight, Sonny Hew.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
What a wonderful, wonderful thing. And I thank you for getting us a little educated on not only some of the music that we grew up on with house music, but of course, introducing the new generation of independent artists that are fire. When you have another track or other things that you are working on, either here in Chicago or beyond, please come back and let us know. You're welcome, and you're a friend to the show. Thank you so very much, Sonny. We appreciate
you.
you.
Thank you for
And
having me.
Larry, and Larry gonna love you for that. Larry Heard gonna absolutely
Oh,
love it. And for those of you that I sent him, All About House. If you haven't heard about that All About House podcast, you want to learn a little bit more about what Chicago does, the old school, man, definitely check that out because it's phenomenal. Val just told you, I love to go other places. When you hear people try to imitate the Chicago house scene, they have the major stuff. But as Sonny mentioned, when you get into the deep side of it, you need to just get to Chicago to the Chosen Few picnic. And by the way, Sonny, when is that going to be this year? You remember the dates?
Yeah, it's going to be July 13th, which is a Saturday.
July 13th. So if anybody's in the Chicagoland area or within an hour and a half to 2 hour drive, trust me, beat the musicians there. Because if you get there too late, tell them, Val, you don't
they'll
get in.
miss it. They'll miss it.
Big recommendation. If y'all coming from northbound, then I recommend parking your car in like Hyde Park and just walking down the lakefront to get there because you're not going to find parking around Jackson Park.
All right.
Hey, that's how bad it is. But man, listen, Sonny, man, I appreciate you. Hopefully, man, we got an opportunity to spread some love on what you do, the new sounds in Chicago, the music, and Val is absolutely correct. Man, as you grow in this music genre, we definitely want to continue to hear. You got two old school our house heads right here. Sometimes Val and I get off the show and we'll stay on here doing about 20, 30, 40 minutes of just old music and stuff we jamming to. So we definitely appreciate you.
All right. Thank you, Sonny. Thank you so very much. Come on back and see us real soon. Oh my gosh.
Man,
oh my goodness. What a I want to say just talented. I like it. We got a chance to play a little bit of it. I heard the samples. He kind of broke down what some of those samples were. But next week on Monday, what's coming up for you, Coach?
Let me tell you, if next week is going to be a phenomenal show. So if I've got anybody that's watching tonight that's got any inkling of HBCU in their blood, their mama, their daddy, their cousin, their uncle, their friend, the neighbor, matter of fact, the kitty cat and the dog, if you got any of that HBCU love, please tune in because I've got the one and only athletic director who's a tremendous friend of mine, and she's gone up the ladder. And Miss Kiki Barnes at Dillard University down in New Orleans, as they say, not New Orleans, but New Orleans. She's the athletic director over top of the GCAC conference. And we're going to talk a little HBCU and we're going to talk a little sports and her rise to the top as a young African woman, Val, in the sports industry.
Mm-hmm. So that'll be exciting next Monday at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, quarter by quarter. That is the Pull Up Podcast show every Monday. And we thank you guys. We thank you so very much for tuning in for that. And of course, thank you so very much. A DJ Saved My Life. That is the new ebook that is coming out very, very soon. Like I said, I got a chance to talk with my folks and it's going to be released and I'm excited about it. Find out more about how music saved my life. And that is myself, Val the Voice. Scan the QR code, find out more about it and pick up an ebook copy. Reserve your ebook copy today. And of course, Interludes Extra presents Find Your Voice on Patreon. Join our community via Patreon today, patreon.com/interludes. I'm telling you, it's been another wonderful, great Interludes Extra Presents Talk on Tuesday. So I guess we're going to pack up these hits and continue to keep talking about Black Music Month and, of course, National DJ Month. This was Sonny was such a great guest to have talking about that as well. So thank you for bringing on your nephew.
Hey, the words of Marshall Jefferson, move your body, rock your body. Move your body. Gotta have house music all night long. Come on now.
We'll see you guys next Tuesday. Peace.